Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Siemens and Manufacturing Today present Digital Transformation. Opportunities for small and mid-sized manufacturers. Media partner CNN News 18.
Digital transformation is creating a world where India's small and medium businesses get an equal chance to compete with larger players. But the question is, how do they effectively use digital tools to improve their products and improve the way they work? Well, that's what we are here to find out. Hello and welcome to this special presentation brought to you by Siemens and Manufacturing Today, titled Digital Transformation Opportunities for Small and Mid-sized Manufacturers. I'm your host Gautam Srinivasan, and joining me are an eclectic panel of business leaders who will share their insights on the topic. Let me quickly introduce you to them. Pramod Kalyani joins us. He's from Carlson Engineering Solutions. We're also joined by Rajkumar Armugam, Director of Renaissance Performance Products. And we're also joined by Vilas Pujari, CIO at ACG. And last but definitely not the least, we're joined by John Fox, Vice President of Marketing for Mainstream Engineering at Siemens PLM Software. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I'm looking forward to a very revealing discussion. We'll start with you, John. Okay. The journey of a product from the time someone comes up with an idea, from the time it goes to market, and from the time somebody gets feedback on it to create a better version of it. Tell us how technology adds value to each of these stages.
Yes, as a software vendor, we do exactly that. We help manufacturers go from a concept to a design to manufacturing to production to end of life of their products. And it really starts with the digital definition of that product. We call it the digital twin. So that's a virtual representation of a physical product. There's all sorts of downstream benefits from that: internal collaboration, or collaboration with your suppliers and customers as you're part of a supply chain. Our message to small and medium-sized businesses is you're not too small to start taking advantage of some of these great digital technologies that are becoming increasingly available.
Size doesn't matter. Your DNA can change if you just incorporate a bit of digital in it.
Exactly.
All right. Now that's the broad strokes. Let's understand how this works in the real business world. Rajkumar, let me come to you. Your goal, your company's goal is to mechanize farming, and you have significant experience in this area besides running a whole host of businesses. But focusing on this, your business caters to small and marginal farmers. How demanding is this customer category, and what were your thoughts about risk versus reward when investing in technology to improve the way you innovated and you created products?
I think this particular segment is highly demanding because of the fact that mechanization has wrongly been interpreted as tractorization in India till now. So the small and marginal farmers were never been able to use the actual tractorization because of the affordability. So we had to give a quick, affordable solution to the farmers, which has to be more innovative than the tractors. So it all in conceptualizing the innovative ideas. But then taking that innovative idea to a final saleable product stage plays the key role. You have to be quick, and it has to be right at the first time for a small and medium companies.
The stakes are high.
Stakes are very, very, very high in that sense. So with the digital transformation, which we took about 4 or 5 years back along with Siemens, we could really do that in a very, very short time and very effectively, and I hope we have done it right in the first attempt itself.
All right, let me come to you, Pramod. You design a wide range of products, actuators, valves and pumps, many different customer categories, many different requirements. What were the challenges at first when you embraced complete digitalization?
Actually, as you mentioned, that we are into product design, and as you all know, that company invest into product for their growth. And the biggest key is the time to market. And when we started our company, or when I decided to start my company, the first thing came to my mind is I should have a tool which can give me the speed to take the idea, communicate to the customer, and get it into the reality. And the adaptation of Solid Edge really helped me to do that.
you operate in the pharmaceuticals area, very regulatory heavy. What were some of the challenges, and when you invested in digitalization, what was going through your mind?
The pharma industry in India and abroad, we serve both segments. And even the pharma industry in India is also highly focused on global industry. So our products have to be really, really reliable. And our time to market is very, very important. And the data reliability and data integrity and the reliability of our products is very important. These digital technologies help us in exactly doing that.
Okay.
And the shorter the time it takes for us to deliver, the leaders we will be, and we are the leaders.
All right, quicker go-to-market for your
Yes,
solutions.
absolutely.
All right. Now, John, you've heard different industries, different experiences. So tell us about how Solid Edge's portfolio of product development tools can help India's small and medium businesses scale up. Also, where do you see the gaps emerge, and how do you see Solid Edge addressing them?
Yeah, SMBs, like the folks on the panel here, they're facing tremendous pressures. They're competing on the global stage. They need to participate in a global supply chain. So there's pressures for time to market. How do I get that great idea to market before my competitors and be the first to market? There's cost pressures. They have to be increasingly cost competitive. And also product complexity is increasing. One example, which I'm sure we can hear examples today from the panel, is more and more electronics are being integrated with mechanical. So in our case, for Solid Edge, it's a complete product development platform. So it encompasses mechanical design and electrical design. And I talked about the digital twin. It brings more aspects of the product development process and the customer interface together. So for example, once you have the digital product definition, you can tie it to your technical publications. So fully associative. You can generate images of your product to actually sell that product before you build it. All sorts of efficiencies. We talked about regulatory compliance. Bring in your requirements management, complete traceability, and tie it to your design process. A lot of opportunities for SMBs to take advantage of these types of benefits.
All right, let's put all those points that you mentioned into perspective for our viewers at home in terms of use cases, because that's the best way for them to understand. Rajkumar, give us specific use cases where using product lifecycle management solutions might have helped you save costs or reduce time to market. Give us a for instance.
I think I can straight away quickly say about three major ways in which it has helped our organization. First of all, in the product development cycle itself. Traditionally, the way we have been doing, making a 2D drawing and then making a prototype and then going to the market, test it out, come back with the problems, correct it, go back. We could get away with that 100% immediately. That saved us almost 2/3 of our product development cycle time, NPD, new product development cycle time. So we could actually do the 3D model, do all the analysis and tests, and also bring in 3D or even visible picture of it, make a product catalog out of it through features like keyshots and other things, go to the farmer and show him whether has he really wanted this particular concept actually. So the farmer also could really visualize it, connect it, and could suggest changes or requirements. We come back immediately, make the changes, and readily we straight away went into the production.
That's interesting. So it affords you the opportunity to test your product before you have even created it, get the inputs from your customers, make the necessary changes, and then bring it to market.
Without even making the first product or a prototype.
That's interesting. What's your experience been?
Exactly, and I think the same. What we saw, digital twins. What he just now said, that the way we adopt digital transformation is once we get a requirement for a product development, we little bit do research, and in the first meeting itself, we kind of create a model, 3CAD model, and we go with possible product with the client, to the client, so that he can have a view. It helps us that it gets a confidence, that the client gets confidence that we can deliver such a product, And from that time onward, and we work for a bigger project, so there are like 20, 24 different models in that range, complete range.
Now, John, I want to pick your mind on a question about the fact that the model for Solid Edge is unique in the sense that it doesn't lock in a lot of these players into a specific technological journey. It's a matter of, you know, downloading the trial version, testing it out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. So how has this portfolio itself evolved over the time to meet the needs of, you know, wide variety of businesses? And what sort of changes have you introduced since you've introduced to India?
Sure. We're finding among SMBs, small and mid-sized companies, that more and more are, I guess you could call it self-directed. So they want to find the tools on their own. They want the freedom and flexibility to try them out, download them, even purchase them, and ultimately learn them. It's kind of a flipping the traditional model of selling software, where it's very much account-driven and hand-holding. So with Solid Edge, we're making it more out of the box, more self-serve. Some of the specific things we've done is we have you heard about 2D. We have a 2D drafting product that's free and downloadable. So that's a very popular download. For the 3D product, we have a free trial, and it gets people started. They can try it. We've recently introduced in India a subscription model. So now, in addition to buying it in the traditional way, you can buy it by the month or by the year. You know, again, it's all about flexibility. And most recently, and happy to announce this week, we've launched a startup program. So for startups less than 3 years old who qualify, they're entitled to free licenses of our premium product. So a lot of things we're doing.
Lots
to
of
make it
developments
easier to
happening. The
access.
software keeps evolving according to the needs.
Yes.
Well, on that note, we'll take a very short break, but stay tuned. Lots more to discuss.
Siemens and Manufacturing Today present Digital Transformation, Opportunities for Small and Mid-Sized Manufacturers. Media partner CNN News 18.
Welcome back. You're watching Siemens and Manufacturing Today presents Digital Transformation, Opportunities for Small and Mid-Sized Manufacturers. If you've just tuned in, we are talking about the role of digitalization in improving products and, of course, improving the way we work. John, let me come back to you on a topic which I want to know more about, which is 3D printing. Additive manufacturing. Now, the headline use cases when it comes to 3D printing has been, you know, research and development. We hear a lot of developments on creating of prototypes. But do you see the technology curve moving more strongly towards production now?
Yeah, I think 3D printing is a great example of what you might think of as innovation accelerators. So a small business might utilize 3D printing or do collaboration on the cloud, or start doing more and more of their operations using mobile devices. All these new technologies are available to them. So in 3D printing, it's a great example because you can think about how are we thinking about 3D printing today? You might think of it just as a prototyping mechanism. It's actually great for production, and we're seeing that globally more and more. We have one really innovative customer, Local Motors, who's actually using 3D printing to produce production vehicles. And they're using that technology to serve underserved niches in the automotive industry. That aren't
considering the benefits, right? Because there's less material. It's a more precise process. There's less material wastage and reduced processing time and, you know, required equipment.
Exactly. So another example is a large global 2D printing company. All of their plastic parts in production are now manufactured with 3D printing. So the message to small and mid-sized businesses is think about not just prototyping, but maybe moving into production, especially as the ecosystem and the infrastructure rises to meet that challenge.
All right, Rajkumar, do you use that in your business?
Yes, we do have budgeted to go ahead with the scanning as well as the 3D printing system in the coming financial year.
So it's not just a notional point, it is something which is real. A lot of you are beginning to use it. All right, let's look at the forward picture now, Vilas. You know, what sort of opportunities do you see PLM softwares opening up for your business in the year?
See, ACG is very innovative and customer-oriented organization. For us to deliver the product faster in a collaborative manner, in an innovative manner, more and more the product facilitates the collaboration. That is the right product for us. So PLM helps us in exactly doing that innovation across the chain. Everybody can contribute to innovation, and apart from that, our product, whenever it's designed, everything is captured, the log and everything is maintained within the system. Data reliability is high, and the product that come out of this whole exercise would be much more reliable.
All right, and Pramod, looking at the crystal ball, what sort of opportunities do you see opening up as you continue to expand on your use of PLM software?
Yeah, so as I said, the products are going to evolve. The product development cycle is going to evolve by looking at the technologies around. So digital transformation now has given a tremendous opportunity to innovate, to ideate the product in much faster and innovative ways. Second thing, it has also given a platform through 3D printing, not only the digital twins, but the actual product to look and feel and then communicate. And then later on, simulation and validation, your design verification. So whole process of, I think there will be a shift in the way the products are going to be designed in future.
All right, let me shift focus now. John, you had mentioned about product complexity earlier. I want you to expand on that, considering, how does Solid Edge, how can it help Indian companies become global? Because small and medium businesses, when they go global, the product complexity comes into focus because different markets have different needs.
Yeah, right. There's a couple ways, at least, to think about product complexity. One is the product itself is becoming more complex. Just to build on what I said earlier, more and more electronics and software are becoming part of physical products. So one of the things we've done is introduced a electrical design suite to complement our mechanical design suite. And it's not just to do both designs digitally, it's tight integration between the two. Because if you have two silos, there's opportunities for error, it slows down the process, it's all about integration.
All right. Now, we focused so far on sort of the product improvement cycle. I want to look at the workforce productivity aspect as well. Rajkumar, Solid Edge improves a lot of collaboration between the workers, considering the amount of devices that it supports. So, tell us about how it has improved workforce productivity for your company.
For a small and medium business company like us, the communication is the major tool between different layers of the company. Solid Edge kind of a tool. It helps us to even communicate the parts in assemblies or disassembled conditions or even in 3D views from the production shop level till the field service level. Even a field service mechanic who goes and services our agricultural machinery will be able to see a 3D model and how the systems work in between, and that has been made possible with such a right technology.
Okay.
So adoption of technology helps us to minimize so many things. Even you don't even have to now print user manual. All that can be now in a digital way.
Can be
and
generated.
more communicating, even to uneducated mechanic who could visually see the 3D image of it.
Okay, that's from the agricultural side of things. What about the pharmaceutical side? Very interaction heavy and very precision, dependent. What's your view on how workforce productivity has improved?
See, one is definitely the workforce productivity will improve, and more importantly, the communication between the people becomes very clear. So the chances of errors will drastically reduce. Apart from that, as Raj was mentioning, the outcome of this is the end user manual and the SOPs and everything. These are very, very critical from the pharmaceutical industry perspective, who use our complex machines. And that's where this whole PLM is going to help us from increase the workforce productivity.
Okay. Now, another aspect of the Solid Edge portfolio which works to its benefit is the wide developer network and a very vibrant online community. So, how do you think, it works in terms of improving the way small businesses in India can scale up? What's your view on this?
Yeah, it was taken a little bit for a surprise to me that Siemens has a platform for Solid Edge user, because unfortunately manufacturing industry still works in kind of isolation. So we hardly get to work around collaboratively among the engineers from the different industry. But with this platform which Siemens has provided among the user community, it has created a user community in Pune, and there we meet from different industry, from the packaging industry, from product industry, we are from the product design industry, automotive industry, and then everybody kind of explains that how they solve their challenges in engineering and how they used solid edge in an innovative way to solve their problem, and that's how it gives idea to other engineers, and then we share those knowledge about how we solve our problem using the tools of solid edge has.
Okay, so we've aggregated a lot of viewpoints on the topic and we're almost running out of time. So let me get the final words from all of you. And my question to you is what word of advice would you give to your peers in terms of adopting technology to improve their product life cycle management? Let's start with you, Rajkumar.
Absorbing new technologies is the only way for small and medium businesses to sustain and also keep the growth momentum going.
Okay.
It reduces your product development life cycle time. It reduces a lot of cost attached to prototyping and manpower, designing and field testing and coming back. And it gives you a lot of huge edge over big leading established manufacturers.
Okay.
I think it's not advice, but I would say that in today's scenario, we want to be more innovative. All companies they have a common goal of innovation, speed, and if you need these, there is no other option apart from adopting the digital transformation.
Okay, and what's your view on this?
I think digital is the way to go, and use digital as a differentiator for your business.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Yes, of course, yes.
John, your final words. What would you say to a small and medium business, an owner watching this show? What would your word of advice be to them?
I think it would be, don't be intimidated by all this technology. Don't be, you can do bite-sized adoption of aspects. We talked about how to use 3D printing. We have some very advanced new features. Siemens PLM has access and in a portfolio of great technology. What we do with Solid Edge is kind of democratize it. So one of the examples is something called generative design. So you can actually let the computer design your product based on the constraints you put in it. And what comes out of that process is amazing, organic. It almost looks like an organic product with curves and swoops. And it's a bit like Mother Nature designing an optimized product. So it sounds very advanced, but it's very accessible. So I would encourage SMBs to keep an open mind and look for ways to leverage these new technologies.
All right, so that's one small step which can result in a giant leap for the company. All right, on that note, we'll conclude this special presentation. I'd like to thank our panelists for sharing their insights on the topic, and thank you to our viewers for tuning in.
Siemens and Manufacturing Today present Digital Transformation, Opportunities for Small and Mid-sized Manufacturers. Media partner CNN News 18. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.